Hello, people of the internet, this is Shaky Jake, and I really need a catchphrase. You are watching Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, with the restored content modification. Previously on KotOR 2, we made our way to Dantooine, one of the planets from the first game that has returned for this game, and it's not exactly in the greatest state compared to what we have seen in the past, but we found out a little bit more information about what's happened on Dantooine since the past 5 years and since the end of the first game, and it's effectively post-war at this point. It's very war-torn. I imagine this is what life would have been like immediately post-World War II, but in the Star Wars universe. And we need to try and find Master Vrook now, because he's also making a return appearance from the first game, and he's one of the Jedi Masters we need to look for, so let's do that. But before I go anywhere, I need to level up the Handmaiden for a bit, because she's still level 6, and she's not going to be very good in combat. Now, I know that people who have played this game before will tell me, oh, you shouldn't level up certain characters because of certain plot points and various other things. I've already leveled up Atten and Beodor as examples, and they're also affected by this. But I can't actually go into what that is without discussing spoilers, and I want to wait until the appropriate time before I encounter their specific quests or whatever. But I'm going to level up Handmaiden, which I don't normally do in my non-recorded sessions, but I'm going to this time around just for a bit of a change of pace. So we're going to level up Handmaiden a couple of times, not all the way, but just up to level 10 for now, just to get her to be a little bit more durable and to be a bit more viable in combat. So I'm going to give her some feats, basically anything that focuses on making her more useful in combat. Recommended focuses on Constitution, which I think is pretty good for the Handmaiden. And we're just going to focus on Treat Injury because I don't really need her to be a demolitions person at the moment. Although having said that, I will probably regret it later on. What does the recommended focuses on Treat Injury as well. Toughness, so she's a bit more durable. And then one more level for now, because she gets a feat every level up at the moment, and I want to maximise that potential if I can. Okay, we'll leave it there for now. I actually do need to equip her, so let's do that. Give us some energy shields, because we have so many. And we'll give her the power implant, because that's what I was using, but I don't actually need it now. What do I actually have? I think I had the reflex package last time. The Achani shield, actually we should give that to the Handmaiden because she is Achani. And we'll give her the Gamorrean gauntlets because I'm actually going to do something stupid with her and try her unarmed just to see if it works well. I might regret it, but we'll see. And I think that's everything. So there we go. Let's head over to the Jedi Enclave and see what's happening over there. I noticed in, not the previous part, but the part before it, when I started recording this again, I accidentally screwed up the introduction for the series, and I accidentally forgot to say the restored content mod in the introduction, but I'd rather have that than accidentally say the playing it on the impossible difficulty, because there is no impossible difficulty in this game. Oh, Handmaiden, did you stun? Because that's pretty good if so. So the Cathans are back again from the first game. Their behaviour hasn't changed whatsoever.
Focus.
Okay, use a bit of Force Scream. My character is so badly built because I deliberately designed him poorly because I wanted to give myself a bit of a challenge. Because at some point I need to start building my character more towards being a gunslinger, because for the first part of the game I kept focusing too much on skills, and that might be a downside at this point, but whatever. I deliberately wanted to make my own life harder, which is why I'm not effectively built at this point in the game. We can make up for it much later on though, so we've got plenty of time to sort that out. I just need more feats. But the issue is I've picked the class that doesn't get many feats because Jedi Counselors are screwed in that regard. Handmaiden, what are you doing?
I'm here. Ready.
I'm not sure if unarmed combat is really working. I'm just going to give it a quick try. Oh, okay, there we go. That kind of works. I've never tried Handmaiden as an actual unarmed combatant, but she supposedly got feats with them, so I want to see if it actually works well. Of course, these battles are going much slower than I would like. Yeah, this is going far too slow. Come on. I don't know why Krea's not using the Force. Let me change that to Jedi support. Yes, I know how that works. Because, you know, Krea should be using her advantages, not her disadvantages. There we go, she's actually helping us out now. Good. Yeah, Craig, can you actually just start using the Force to attack? Okay, she's just looping through powers at this point. Krea, what are you doing? I've never actually used the whole setting the different types of AI for the party members in this game. I could have done it in the first game for the previous Let's Play, but I've rarely used it, so gotta try something new at least once. Finally, Jesus, that took forever. The Grove has been shut off. We can't go there anymore, so that's a change from the first game. Oh, of course, there's more calf hounds. Thankfully, it is just the one. Wow, that was a complete miss. Well done, mate. There we go. Krea's actually using the Force more now, which is good. I am going to double check on the Handmaiden's feats in a moment, because I just want to see what her actual unarmed feats are like at this point. Because if she doesn't have them yet, I'm switching her back to, you know, swords. Feats. Okay. Yeah, unarmed specialist. So, yeah, so it is a viable build for her at this point. Good. So then she's going to stay on. She's going to stay on that then. So we need to head over to the Jedi Enclave and see what's happening over there, which is taking us much longer than it should have done, but we'll get there eventually. Those of you that have played the first game or have watched me play the first game will realise a lot of the environments here. And one of the reasons why I like going to Dantooine first is because of the nostalgia that going to Dantooine provides in this game. So I like to go there first because it gives more of a tie-in to the first game. And I like to see that as early as possible. Which is one of the reasons why I always played Korriban second on my first few playthroughs, because I wanted to do all the planets I was familiar with first before visiting the new ones. I'm sure for other people it was the other way around, so, you know, they visited the newer planets first and then went to the older planets later on. But I wanted to see the older planets first. And Krea is almost dead, that's a bit of a problem. I kind of need Krea. We are struggling with calf hounds, people. This isn't very good. Okay, Handmaiden just kicked a calf hound right in the face and did some damage, which is good. Krea is taking damage again. She might actually die here. You know what? Oh, she's already used the Force up. I was going to sort them out, but apparently I cannot do that. If I die to calf hounds, this is going to be really embarrassing. Right, Krea, I'm sorry about this. I was going to throw a grenade, but the AI screwed up for me.
Let us end this.
Right, one calf hound's down, thank God. Krea is down, but it's not a problem, we can still deal with this. Worst case scenario, I can always level the Handmaiden up again. It's these big calf hounds, I don't know why they're so difficult, but they always have been. Even in the first game, they were a lot more annoying to take out. especially when I'm missing at point blank range. I've switched the Handmaiden back to swords because watching her do unarmed is really irritating me at this point. I really regret taking the calf hounds on now. Should have just waited a bit. Right, switching me to swords as well. Finally. I'm not even going to bother with the calf hounds up there because that took forever. But Krea's leveled up, which is perfect because she's very low on health. Obviously concentrate on her wisdom because we need her to be wise. And what's the recommended give us? Okay, that. Yeah, that. Let's focus on repair, even though it doesn't make sense for her, but whatever. And let's improve her dueling. And we need heal, and we need insanity, because that power is awesome. Okay. Now, let's not attack any more calf hounds, because that was a pain in the arse. No, game, I don't want to attack any more calf hounds. We'll deal with them later. Let's talk to some salvagers here. Unless if there's anything else. No, there's not. Okay. Who are you?
You a new salvager? Or one of those Kunda cantina rats coming here to complain?
I guess I am a salvager, technically.
Well, we don't need another one. Look around this camp. We got the salvaging more than covered. I'm gonna give you some advice. Turn back. There's nothing you're gonna find.
Why don't you think I will find anything?
Because anything valuable in the ruins was carted away months ago. The only salvagers left are either desperate, ornery, or not right in the head. And while you look dirty enough to be here, I don't think you're any of those things. So go back to Kunda.
You are such a nice person. Surely there's something left.
The only thing left is the sub-level, and that's crawling with Lagrex. And those things are smarter than half the salvagers here, though that don't take much. And don't be asking any pesky questions. You're new, and no one is going to help you out.
Why won't anyone help me?
Because there isn't enough salvage to share with the people already here. And a hungry newcomer is about as welcome as a diuretic hut.
Yeah, that does sound pretty grim thinking about it. I'm going to the ruins. I've come a long way.
If you're not going to listen to anybody, maybe you can help me out. The only place that has anything is the sub-level. And only a couple of fools have gone there. And they're now dead fools. I'd like to do the decent thing and get their bodies and put them to rest. That hole isn't a fit place for a salvager. So, if you find a couple human corpses down there, just grab their gear and their bodies. I'll pay you 500 credits for each of them.
That seems unusually generous of you.
Us salvagers that are still here have to stick together.
What do you do around here?
I've been here the longest, and I'll be here last. I buy Jedi salvage from the ruins. Slow business now, but I get by.
Who do you sell it to?
Sometimes I sell them to visitors like yourself. Besides, that's none of your flaming business.
Can I see what you have for sale?
You should have let me know you're a customer instead of letting me think you're some disease-ridden salvager. Let me show you what I've got.
Not that I want to buy anything necessarily because we're anti-Jedi, but it might be useful for other characters potentially. This is a good crystal, so I will probably buy that at some point, even though it's very expensive. Otherwise, the rest of the crystals are pretty much generic stuff. Yeah, I don't really want anything here, although this is quite nice as alternative armour. But yeah, we're going to leave it for now. So we got a new side quest added, which is about finding dead people, basically, and finding what effects they have on them, or what stuff they have on them. And there's one more person with a name here, but before we talk to him, I think we get a unique camera angle here.
Do you feel it? The wound on this world, it is centered here. If we succeed in gathering the Jedi, they will come to this place. And if those Jedi are slain, then all that remains of the Order shall be drawn here as well.
Such a nice setup shot from Obsidian there. When will this happen?
We will know when the time comes, and I hope our enemies do not.
And this is why I think going to Dantooine first makes the most sense, because if you went to any other planets to find any other Jedi, wouldn't it make sense for them to actually come to the planet with you and help you out? I don't know, I just think it's a bit odd that they don't show up even if you went to other planets first. So that's why I always go to Dantooine first. Before we move on, let's talk to this guy.
Oh, a visitor comes to our delightful salvager camp. We are honored. Do you come bringing your credits and curiosity?
Credits and curiosity? Are you selling something?
Am I that transparent to you? Apparently this is so. I am Rylon, known throughout this camp for the many artifacts of value that I have uncovered. An expert, this is certain. A question I pose to you, traveler. Do you wish to buy one of the most elusive of all Jedi artifacts? A powerful Jedi holocron.
Fabled and powerful. Isn't that an exaggeration?
That is no exaggeration. Jedi holocron are very rare and invaluable tools for skilled Jedi. If this man has one, you'd be wise to obtain it.
I'm surprised if the ruins have any holocron left. They're heavily sought by Jedi Masters.
This is no idle boast, traveler, but a fact. A holocron is easily worth many thousands of credits to any Jedi, but I will sell it to you for a low price. I ask a mere 1,000 credits for this rare find. This is not a matter of negotiation. You should buy it quickly before others come.
If it's worth so much, why not ask for more?
A discerning question. Well, the reason is simple. The market of buyers is limited on Dantooine. If I were on Coruscant, I could make a fortune with this. My dilemma is I lack the funds to travel, so I cannot reach a better market, so my price is reduced. But you travel, and surely you could find a Jedi buyer.
Sounds like you've fallen on hard times. Can I help?
Can you help? Yes, you can buy this excellent holocron. Although your profits are astounding, my share is plenty.
Why hasn't anyone else bought it?
They know of my predicament and would seek to savagely reduce my profits. You shouldn't associate with such unpleasantness.
Can I inspect the holocron? Maybe it's broken.
I assure you it isn't. I will show it to you presently. As you can see, it is in fine shape. A real bargain at a mere 1,000 credits.
That is a remarkable fake, but it's not even worth the time you've wasted describing it.
How did you know? Well, I never unload this accursed thing. This isn't my fault. You can't blame me.
How isn't this your fault?
This forgery has passed through several hands in this camp. I am merely the latest victim. I wish to abandon this dung heap.
I thought this was a delightful camp.
Be serious. Any sentient with scent glands can tell that this is the garbage pit of Dantooine.
Oh, I love this guy. So you didn't make this?
No, of course not. Another salvager sold it to me, and he bought it from another one before him. When there were more salvagers, incidents like this were common. But now there are few of us, and I'm stuck with this garbage. There's no way I can make it home to my family and children.
Oh, sob stories. I doubt you even have a wife.
You with all your observations. I'm not going to talk to you about the holocron anymore. So, what should we talk about?
Do you know anything about a thief?
You should talk to Durala. I've told her everything I know. I think I saw the thief by the ruins of the Enclave. I believe that the thief has to be living in the sub-level, because every place else has been visited many times by the salvagers. I didn't get a clear look at the thief. It was dark, and the ruins provide many hiding places.
Can you tell me about the planet?
There isn't much to see around here. The planet is very lightly populated by settlers, mercenaries, and us.
What are the settlers like?
They want nothing to do with us. The only thing they want is part of our profits. Now that salvaging is running out, I doubt they will tolerate our presence much longer.
What are mercenaries doing on Dantooine?
I don't know nor care. They're trouble, but fortunately they ignore us. When they're looking for work, they mainly bother the settlers.
What can you tell me about the salvagers?
We come from many different planets, drawn to the rumors of fortune. I believe the early salvagers did make some credits, but latecomers like myself barely find anything. Early salvagers said that the ruins were mostly empty to begin with. Many think that the administrator didn't allow us to salvage until her people were done with it.
I have to go. So we've talked to Raylon for a bit, and he's an interesting guy, but otherwise he doesn't really have much else to discuss. And I appreciate that we've had a couple of dialogue heavy parts. I am hoping to end that soon with some gameplay.
Announcement. You have caused us to expenditure a great deal of effort to find you, Jedi. Annoying recitation. Let us proceed to facilitate communications. Threat. Come with us without resistance, Jedi, or you will come with us in pain.
Don't you ever know when to quit? And yes, this is something that the restored content mod has resurrected. HK50s attacking you at various points throughout the game. Once you get HK47 back online, you'll definitely want to take him with you when you attack these guys.
Yes.
But we'll deal with that later.
Failing, Master.
And as you can see, they're really easy to take out now because we are so strong with the Force. Now one of them should have another part for HK47, yes, the chassis. And this is why it's a lot easier to actually fix HK47 with the restored content mod, because of how many times the HK50s attack you. I'm ignoring the calf hounds because I've had enough of them. Ooh, salvagers.
Who are we missing? We're one off.
We're missing Joran. I don't see Joran.
That runt of a Kathhound, he's the one with the backpack. Did anybody grab anything from the room? Anybody?
Of course it would be the guy who shares my Exile's name.
What do you want?
What's the problem?
I managed to get this sad lot of salvagers to work together. Then we get 2 rooms into the sub-level, and we get swarmed by Lagrex. And even then we fight our way out. But of course the only one that managed to grab the salvage is still in there. I don't even know why I bothered.
Are you going back for him?
Are you kidding? Course we aren't. He's on his own. I only wish he didn't have the salvage on him. Now, if you don't mind, we're going someplace you can't eavesdrop on us, and get down to our business.
Well, they seem like nice people, just leaving one of their crew to die. So naturally, we're going to go in and try and find this Joran person, because, you know, he shares our name with, you know, the name I've given my Exile, so it's only fair we look for him. But yeah, the Enclave isn't exactly in the greatest state right now. It's really deteriorated since the first game, as you can no doubt tell by the ruins here. It really shows the passage of time compared to the first game, and all the events that took place during the first game with the bombing of Dantooine. This is the result of Malak's attack, which, when I first played Knights of the Old Republic before the sequel came out, I thought the planet was literally destroyed, as in Dantooine was no longer habitable. However, when this game came out, it was shown that, you know, Dantooine hadn't been destroyed, and it was just the planet was really ravaged by what happened. And here's a new area that you wouldn't have been able to have gone in on the first game, and it's the sub-level of the Enclave, and this can be a very difficult area. So naturally, because I haven't built my Exile up very well, this is going to be very difficult. So let's get into this.
I hear you.
Kreia doesn't have any shields, that's a problem. Let's put some on. And I think for this, I am actually going to use Kreia for a bit, because she's our strongest character right now. And the way I usually go here is I usually go south, and then I go all the way around and then come back on myself. You can go either way though, it's just this is the way I always like to go.
This will teach you.
And these are the Lagrex, who I don't think they showed up in the first game. If they did, it would have been on Kashyyyk, but here they are, and we're going to be attacking them for a bit. Because as I said, this is going to be more of a gameplay focused part. There will still be some talking, but there is going to be gameplay mixed in. And this is quite tense actually, compared to what Dantooine normally offers. It's actually one of the more tense areas of this particular planet, but yeah, we've got a few things to do, so let's take these guys out as best we can. And this is why I'm using Kreia, because she's our strongest character at the moment. Yeah, I might try Handmaiden on unarmed again in a moment, just to see if she'll do any good damage now that we're not fighting Kathhounds.
I hear you.
And let's see if there's any more, because there are going to be loads of them. Prey is losing more force points than I remembered, but on the plus side, because her wisdom's so high, most things can't resist her attacks.
I shall honor them with battle.
Yeah, Handmaiden's not too bad unarmed actually. Now that we're fighting enemies that can't deal with the attacks, she's actually pretty good. And yeah, I'll deal with these locked doors later. For now, I don't really want to mess around with them. I do have a plasma torch that I can use to knock them out though. And let's walk around. I think we might be able to get another party member on this planet because of the mod I've downloaded, which allows me to get both of the gender specific party members, because I'm nice that way. Unfortunately, the character in question isn't exactly the most interesting character in the game, but he is one that I do want to have in my party because he does provide some interesting material, but I prefer the Handmaiden over the Disciple, who we're going to get soon. So we've got an update to that one side quest. We found one body of the, one salvager body. And let's see if there's anything else, because this is quite a big area. There's quite a lot to explore. It basically goes all the way around here, and then it goes all the way around here, and then all the way around here, and then it comes back here. It's quite a big area. And it's unique to this game, because it never showed up in the first one. You could approach the doors, but you couldn't go in here. I'm imagining it looked 10 times better during the days and nights of the Old Republic 1, but we'll never know because we never saw it in that game. Ooh, okay, different experience point distribution there. I imagine the deadly ones are worth more experience points. I really should have brought in somebody who was good at disarming mines, so I should have brought in T3 or Baodor. I might do that off screen, to be honest. But yeah, okay, we got sonic mines. That's a bit of an issue because we can't exactly get by them. Right, let's disarm a mine, and then well, let's recover a mine, see if it will work. And it did. So we might as well recover the other two whilst we're here. Oh, we're being attacked, okay. Right, come on then. Actually, don't use Force Lightning because of the mine ahead. Let's put the difficulty back to difficult before I forget. Oh yeah, I've still got solo mode on, so that's not a problem. Let's get everyone up. This is the one issue with having solo mode on. Right, that's done. Let's put solo mode back off. And let's recover this mine. These Lagrek corpses look quite interesting actually, now I look at them again. Now this is where, if you actually use stealth, it can be a pretty good tactic for the Lagreks, because you can sneak up to this terminal with stealth.
What is it?
And then you can approach it with a good computer use and then just kill all the Lagreks with these by overloading all this. So props to Obsidian for actually making stealth a bit more relevant in this game, because I didn't think it was very good in the first one when BioWare did it, but that could be me. So what we want to do is try and access all this. So let's look at the, all the logs. So storage room door sticking shut. And yeah, fine, we can't do anything else, so let's try and open it. We can't, it doesn't respond. We can look at all the different cameras. Not much to see here, to be honest. Now let's overload the terminal and we can actually give it some time. If you're really suicidal, you can program it for a second, but that's just ridiculous. I think 5 seconds will be good enough, so let's get out of there. I think a second is far too brutal. You don't want to be anywhere near the explosions, because if you do, you will die, but that will open the door up for us. And I think there's a couple of rooms where you have to do this. Okay, we got a data pad. And I don't know if this guy just died in here, or if he stayed in here and then basically starved to death, I don't know. And yeah, he's buried alive, okay. What a grim way to go out. Yeah, that's not an ideal way to die, but unfortunately it happened to the technician here. He had credits at least, so that's cool. We got Mandalorian heavy armour. I mean, we could be really cruel and make Baodor wear that, but I'm not going to. That's just harsh. Suppose I could potentially use it. Ooh, a Chani light armour. We might want to give that to Handmaiden for a bit. Actually, will the Handmaiden look good in it? Let's have a look. She looks alright, I guess. But I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I usually like seeing the party members with their unique clothing, because I'm a stickler that way.
I hear you. Ready.
Although the hood is a little bit restrictive, so you know what? I'm going to make a change. She's going to wear this, just to look a little bit, just so we can see her face a bit more. Hiding behind a hood is not a great look for everybody. I know when it comes to characters such as Atton, I hate taking Atton out of his usual clothes because he just looks so good in them, and I don't like him in anything else. Even though they would be more beneficial for him, you know, stats-wise. Right, more enemies. Kreia, this is when it would be useful if you were around. Right, where's Kreia? This is a problem. Oh, why are you fighting the door, Kreia? Don't do that. I need you to actually, you know, help out. And Handmaiden's about to faint. Yep, there we go. And so am I, apparently. Yep, there I go. All because Kreia was trying to pick a fight with a door instead. Didn't realise the party member AI did that, actually. I thought it would actually be able to figure out to, you know, follow me instead of attacking a door. Okay, let's not waste any more force points. Yep, the deadly Lagrex are worth more experience points, which makes sense. Oh, Handmaiden, don't run off. Why? Why are you doing this? We haven't even got our force points back. So now we got to take them out again. Right, I'm doing a runner. I'm doing a runner. This isn't a good idea. I'm just going to let me die, because this was a terrible plan. This is why the party member AI is so dreadful. And why am I constantly using heal? It's not a great idea. Especially because neither of us are very good at combat. Oh no, okay, run. Stop following me. We'll hide out here for a bit and heal, and then we'll go back and take those knobs out. Or we can just come back to life over here and be cheap about it. That works too. So my plan for this part is to explore the entirety of the Enclave sub-level, and then we'll leave it there, because I think that will make for a good part, and we can also get another party member whilst we're at it. I believe our next party member is somewhere around here, so we are pretty close to getting him. Because again, I have this mod installed, which is a very clever mod, and I'll explain about it once we get the new character. But it basically allows you to have both gender-specific party members in your team. You can't necessarily... Well, you can use them both at the same time, but you can't select them both at the same time, at least initially. You have to use an item which lets you do that, but it's not a problem. It's a very clever mod, and I'm glad it exists, because it hasn't existed for years, and it was always something I kind of wanted to exist. That's it, Handmaiden, just keep punching and kicking this. Right, that's better. See, this is what happens when you use teamwork, and not doing stupid things like trying to pick fights with things, and also putting energy shields on, that also helps. Right, this is the room where our next party member's going to be located, but for now let's just take out more of these guys. As you can see, Krea's not suited to combat, so we're just going to focus on the Force. See, this is why I take Krea with me everywhere, because she is really good at using the Force. She's the best Force user in the entire game. Until it runs out, naturally. So we might struggle again. Especially when I'm not using the Force. And especially when I miss every shot. Apart from one or two. Right, we're getting there though, which is good. Oh, we got a stunner. I think that's because of the Handmaiden, so thank you. I've just got one more to take out, and then we can go back to having discussions with people. Right, there's a locked door here. Let's open it up. Oh good, there's no more enemies, so that's nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all of my party members back here, because I don't want them to die. So let's put solo mode back on. And I might actually need a plasma torch for this. To open this door here. Yep, there we go. Until one of our characters gets a lightsaber, that's the only way we can open doors automatically. And we've got another one of these, so let's open that up, fix it, and then we want to overload the terminal once we've had a look at this. I don't think there's much to it though, because they're pretty much broken. Yeah, this one's in an even worse state than the first one. Let's overload the terminal by 10 seconds, because I think 5 is going to be a bit close. Even at 10 I think it's going to be cutting it a bit fine. Let's put solo mode off. As I've said earlier, I imagine this place was in a much better state in Knights of the Old Republic 1. You know, the lights actually worked and it wasn't a tip like it is now. And we've got some stuff in here that we can open up. And again, you can use this as a strategy for taking Lagrex out if you use stealth and then, you know, hack the PC or the terminal. So it's actually a really good strategy if you know what you're doing. But because I didn't actually think about doing that too much, and look, we got a stealth belt that we don't need now. Actually, how much stealth does that belt give you? Stealth plus 6, not bad. Plus the plus 2 in dexterity is actually quite tempting. But I've got this one, at least for now. I think it's about I'll be giving Atten later on though. I actually don't use Atten on Dantooine. I only use him on Nar Shaddaa particularly. Sometimes Korriban as well, but I don't use him much, even though I like Atten. So we want to go in here, because this is where we're going to get our newest party member, who we don't normally get as a male exile, but in this case we will. Thanks for the polite bow. You must be a gentleman.
I am an historian and scientist working for the Republic. Although I'm certain my contemporaries would judge me more a historian than scientist.
This is the kind of guy who would be really suitable on All Creatures Great and Small. What are you doing here?
Like you, I was looking for some trace of the Jedi. I had heard mention that one of the Jedi Masters had gone there, but I found no trace of them.
That's not the only reason.
The other reason was the ruins of the Jedi Enclave, and once I arrived, I felt it was necessary to stay, to protect what was left.
Left?
Much had been taken from the Enclave, both by raiders and others. I wished to preserve what I could.
What others?
Many artifacts were taken from the Enclave, but these thefts, They had to have been done by someone who knew the Enclave well. I suspect the Jedi themselves took the holocrons and records, but I do not know why.
I think you underestimate the ingenuity of salvagers. Even the Jedi cannot protect their secrets from those clever or persistent enough. Besides, the Jedi who knew the Enclave are mostly perished, and the ones who survived would not steal from this place.
It was my mistake to use the term thefts. I apologize. In any case, if Jedi did take things, for the sake of preservation, of course, then they left no clue as to where they may have taken them.
I'm glad I brought the Handmaiden along now. Gives her a nice bit of dialogue there, and probably the only bit of dialogue she'll ever have with the Disciple, because of how this game's programmed. You mentioned holocrons.
Someone has been taking holocrons from sites across the galaxy. It is almost as if someone does not want their knowledge used to find the Jedi. The situation on Dantooine is echoed in other places in the galaxy. Raiders, smugglers, all seek to plunder what remains of the Jedi. And even the Sith. More so than the Jedi themselves, I fear the loss of their history.
Man, this plot is almost predated the Star Wars sequel trilogy at this point, you know. Oh, the Jedi don't want to be found. Luke Skywalker doesn't want to be found. What? Why is that?
Much has been forgotten in recent wars, and I fear that greater troubles shall stem from that loss of knowledge in the future. The destruction of the Academy on Ossus near the Kron Drift in the Sith War, the teachings of Master Arca, the adventures of Jolee Bindo on the Rimward missions. All of these things are in danger of being lost forever. What else would you like to know?
I love that Jolee Bindo had a shout out here. That's fantastic. Jolie's the best character in Knights of the Old Republic 1. Do you know what happened to the Jedi?
No. It is something of a mystery why they would exile themselves as they have. It is not the way of the Jedi to vanish in such a way, especially when the Republic is in need of them. I fear that there is something else at work, something that we cannot see. Then again, perhaps the Jedi are hiding simply because so many people hate them these days.
Why do you think people hate the Jedi?
It is difficult sometimes for the Jedi to see such things, since much of it is rooted in human nature, and the Jedi are often removed from events of daily life, insulated. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies.
But the Jedi have protected the galaxy for centuries. They seek peace, often through sacrifice. And this sounds really out of character for my character who hates the Jedi, but whatever.
Not always. Jedi often fall. They cause much harm on Onderon, for example, in the name of peace and protection. Uleg Keldroma and Exile Kun, the two Dark Lords during the Sith War many decades ago, were once Jedi Knights, as were Revan and Malak. It is perhaps more amazing that some still trust Jedi after many have fallen and endangered the galaxy. It is also proof that a single Force wielder can change the face of the galaxy. And that is a frightening thing indeed.
Yep, this guy definitely knows about the future in the Star Wars universe. Do you hate the Jedi?
Hate? No. I do not hate them. They only raise questions without answers. Jedi are not supposed to be like the rest of us. They are supposed to see a higher purpose in all things. And they are supposed to train students responsibly and well, so mistakes of the past are not repeated. Yet all I saw was ignorance and arrogance, and what those seeds created in the Republic. It is difficult to follow the Jedi Code when so few others have, but you know this.
What do you mean?
Many Jedi defied the Order during the Mandalorian Wars, and it paved the way for the Jedi Civil War.
I was one of those Jedi. I must accept part of that responsibility.
There is no blame. All must accept. But, at its core, one must wonder if it was the failure of the Jedi teachings or the teachers themselves. Many of the Jedi Council trained Exar Kun, Ulik, Revan and Malak. How could they not see the danger they posed? And if they could not, perhaps there was some essential part of their teachings that was flawed. Something beyond the Jedi Code that they were missing.
Revan and Malak would have received the same training as I did.
I am not certain you understand what happened with Revan. Do you wish me to explain?
Go on then.
Revan was captured in the middle of the Jedi Civil War, due in no small part to his apprentice Malak, who turned on him. Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. You must understand that the situation was desperate, and the Jedi needed to know how Revan had amassed the forces arrayed against them. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. Perhaps in his conversation with the Jedi
That's
Masters,
not how it went down.
they were able to convince him of the rightness of their actions.
Oh, convince Revan to have a change of heart. Well, they brainwashed him, essentially. Oh, I love this guy's naivety. Do you know who trained Revan?
Revan had many masters. Zar, Dorak, Master K before K left for the wars. Towards the end of his training, he sought out many to learn techniques. It is said that he returned to his first master at the end of his training in order to learn how he might best leave the Order.
I want to talk about something else.
What else would you like to know?
Why do you work for the Republic?
I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort. Despite the troubles of the Jedi Civil War, there are those among the Republic who still favor the Jedi and wish them to return. And there are Admirals within the fleet who recognize that the Jedi must be found if the Republic is to hold together. Yet as long as Onderon remains within the Republic, and the efforts on Telos succeed, that is all that matters.
Why Telos and Onderon?
The Republic is fragile right now. Telos is important because its success will determine whether or not the other dead worlds receive the same reconstruction efforts. If Telos is rebuilt and made habitable again, it will affect a string of worlds along the rim.
And Onderon?
Onderon, strangely enough, was unaffected by the Jedi Civil War. It's almost as if Revan didn't want to attack it. Its resources and position on the rim make it a vital supply line and guard post against outer rim attacks. Also, it's the only world in the Republic still capable of seeding ecosystems into other dead worlds. Onderon's wildlife is some of the most aggressive in the known galaxy. Merely placing some of those beasts on target worlds will guarantee their habitation for years to come.
I get the impression that the Disciple doesn't particularly go out much. Why are the Jedi Order important?
The Jedi are a symbol. As much damage as their reputation took during the Sith War and the Jedi Civil War, there are still many who they serve as an example. Plus, there have been times in the past where a single Jedi has been enough to change the face of a world, or a galaxy. I suppose I still believe that might be possible. Despite the betrayal of many of the Jedi against the Republic, I must concede that as figureheads, they do serve a vital role.
Let's talk about something else.
What else would you like to know?
You look familiar to me.
I imagine in your travels of the galaxy you've seen many people. Faces tend to blur together after a time. What else would you like to know?
Well, that's a bit rude. Tell me about the Republic.
I do not know if you are aware of how fragile the Republic is at the moment. Its influence is stretched thin, and it grows weaker with time.
What happened?
The Jedi Civil War brought much suffering to the galaxy, and the forces that Malak and Revan amassed against us seemed limitless. Many worlds were destroyed, trade routes disrupted, and the Republic fleet was almost decimated. It was almost the end. But at that last year, the year before Revan vanished, Revan's assault on the Republic stopped. No one knows why. But it was all that saved the Republic. The fleet the Sith had amassed was no more, and the remaining Sith turned on each other, destroying the Academy on Korriban. It did not matter. Revan had already won.
What do you mean?
The war was costly, and it shattered the Republic. In time, the Republic might recover, but if a threat strikes now, if certain key worlds are not held, then the Republic will collapse. Before you go, I had a question for you. You came to Dantooine in search of Jedi. Why?
To get some answers.
What answers do you seek? It has been my experience that Jedi rarely answer such questions, or instead indulge in half-truths.
I need to know why they sentenced me to exile.
Exiled you? It is strange they would sentence you and not speak honestly of your crime.
They claimed that it was because I went to the Mandalorian Wars, but something has emerged that has changed my mind.
It is not the Jedi way to lie. Well, no, that is not true. There are times when truth is concealed if they think a greater good can be achieved. But when such things are done, it is always done with the intention that the person they withheld truth from cannot be trusted with that knowledge, that it will bring harm upon themselves and others.
Well, lying is lying, even from a certain point of view.
Perhaps there was some greater danger in you knowing the reason than in the reason itself. Strange. Mysterious are the ways of the Jedi. Sometimes they see things the rest of us do not. Other times, such sight brings arrogance and a fall. In any case, it seems to me like our goals are compatible. If you would have me, I can apply my knowledge and skills to helping you find the answers you seek.
Well, that's very kind of you. We would welcome your company. And there we go. As you can see, because of the way the mod works, the Disciple has now replaced the Handmaiden's portrait, which is a little bit rude, but we'll take it. And we're gonna take that Disciple with us, and we're also gonna take Kreia with us. And we now get an item called the PartySwap, which allows us outside of certain places. I don't think we can do it in here. Let's just give it a check. So the PartySwap item is this. If we try and use it, yeah, it's disabled here. We can use it outside of the sub-levels though, so we'll do that later. And that was a very long conversation with the Disciple. So there's 3 dead mercenaries, and they were killed by a lightsaber. I wonder if that was Master Vrock who killed them. Bit rude if it is. And yeah, we got a datapad here. And Azkul, leader of the mercenaries on Dantooine. Vrock has wandered into the Enclave alone. You will take a full squad and capture the Jedi alive. And he's in the Kimrath Caves, where we visited in the first game. Okay. So they're going to try and sell Master Vrock for money, which, you know, is admirable in a way, because Master Vrock is a bit of a dick, but we have to be all nice and try and save him. So we'll do that in another part, because we're not going to do it here. Unless if you want the part to be 2 hours, and I'm sure not everyone wants that. Oh, we should probably level the Disciple up, because again, he's another character I don't normally level up, but in this instance I'm going to. So he's pretty much the exact same as the Handmaiden, at least initially. They're both soldiers, so they're going to have very similar builds initially. So I'm going to focus on making him very good. Well, he's already got 2 weapon fighting as a feat, so we'll focus on that. And he's also going to be... Well, no, I'm going to be a bit odd, and I'm going to improve wisdom instead, and you'll see why later on, but yeah, I'm going to improve his wisdom instead. And we'll keep going with treat injury. And we'll level him up to level 10 just so he's a bit more useful. Actually, we'll give him toughness, so he's master toughness, so that's finished. Okay, so he's good with 2 weapons, so I'm going to give him a force pike. That'll be a pretty good weapon for him. Yeah, force pike. And we'll give him some energy shields. And then anything that improves his strength. Constitution would be quite good for him, actually. Yeah, that's fine. Probably should have given that to the Handmaiden. And yeah, we'll give him that. And I need to switch back to that thinking about it. Okay, so here we go. Let's see how he does in combat.
I'm listening.
Actually, let's get him out of that. Oh, he can't change his clothes now. Okay. He doesn't look particularly good in his default clothes, so I am actually going to change him in a moment. Yeah, he's actually pretty good. So let's see if we can change him now. No, we can't. Fine. Gotta wait for the combat music to end. Right, let's see what he can wear, because he can wear pretty much everything. We'll give him something heavy. I think the Mandalorian heavy armor's a little bit overkill. Let's see. Actually, we'll go for the dexterity. Oh no, that looks ridiculous. Okay, no, I've changed my mind. What's the light battle armor look like? Yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking so much about this. Oh, everything just looks ridiculous. Maybe he looked better in his default clothes. Oh, by the way, that's one thing I should throw out there whilst we're here. The normally when you when the disciple doesn't join you as a male character, you get to visit him again later on, and it actually turns out he's working for KotOR II from the first game. But there's not much to that whole plot thread. Right, the Achani armor will do, even though that would probably be better suited to, again, the Handmaiden. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Okay, you can wear... Sorry, I'm having so much trouble deciding what he can wear. You know what? Have the Mandalorian armor. That'll do. Yes. You're not Mandalorian, but it will be good for you. But not much is really discussed about, you know, the disciple working for KotOR II, which is a real shame considering how pivotal KotOR II was in the first game. Maybe it was just cut content that didn't get any further. But essentially, Disciple works for Karth, and he's trying to help restore the Republic, and that's his goal. And yeah, Disciple's actually a really good fighter, so that's nice. He might actually be better than the Handmaiden at the moment. Although this one mod I've downloaded does make using the Force Pipe look a little ridiculous, because he's meant to hold it more to the side as opposed to upwards, but whatever. At least I think that's the mod that's done that, and not the default animation, but we'll find out. Are there any more of you? Because there probably are. There's more locked doors,
I hear you.
So I'm going to open that up. Oh, hold on. Who's got the best security? And I've leveled up. Good. Can we get a feat? No, we haven't got a feat. Damn it. Okay. Well, I suppose increasing security would be good here. And then powers. Oh, we definitely need a better Force Scream. Yeah, because I'm trying not to give myself Force Lightning for once, because it makes the game too easy. So I'm going to avoid giving me that. Yep, Force Scream will do. Let's try and open this door. There we go. And yeah, this is a nice room. It's not as bad as some of the other rooms. Nothing too dangerous here. There's a workbench. There's some droids with parts in. Can we talk to these guys? I think one of them has something of interest. I don't think it shows you though until I reactivate them. Right, okay, let's repair them all. Okay, so we might as well repair these guys because they have they give us good experience points. Hopefully nobody tries to attack them. I'm not even sure if the rest of the game's II recognises them as enemies, but we'll find out. So that's all our repair parts pretty much gone. And we've got more logs here. Oh, okay, they overheat. Fine, that might have... Oh, we probably shouldn't have repaired them then, should we? Oops. And again, none of the PCs work around here. Fine. Let's leave then. And these guys have all got stuck because they don't know how to open a door, so let's help them with that. And apparently I somehow missed a door. There we go. Right, off you go then.
I am ready.
Yes.
Actually, have they left now? Oh, they have. And they look a little bit scary all walking together like that. I think there's going to be another body around here. Let me just double check. No, apparently there's not. Odd, I thought there would be. Oh, combat's going so much quicker with the Disciple. I take everything back I ever said about the Disciple being weaker than the Handmaiden. In this instance, he's actually a lot better. Oh, there's the salvager, I think. Or was it just a random corpse? Okay, for once I actually had the killing blow, that's nice. So here's the other corpse, we found a will. And it says that it's going to be left to the other dead salvager. And we got a choice now. We can tamper with the will for more credits and more stuff, but we get dark side points, or we can leave the will as it is. I'm just going to leave the will because I don't care. And apparently this person was very dyslexic when they were alive, because it's completely misspelled. Or badly misspelled, I should say. But yeah, apparently dyslexia is still a thing in the Star Wars universe.
I hear you.
And let's see if we can recover this mine. And we can. We got another door to unlock. I will probably come back in here later on though, off screen, and just get everything else that I couldn't get here. Oh, there's more enemies. These guys need to go away. And what kind of a shot was that to me? Come on. It's quite sad that at this point I'm the worst character in the game because of how badly I've deliberately built my Exile. Oh well.
Let us end this.
I'm going to start improving two-weapon fighting once I get the chance. Now let's just see if there are any more enemies around here. Yeah, there's a locked door here. That seems suspicious.
Is someone out there? Anybody? Help! Lagrix are everywhere! Help me! I'm trapped in here!
Are you Joran?
Yes, I am. I locked the door in here. I thought I was going to be Lagrek compost. Did you take care of him, stranger?
Could you open the door?
I could. But if there's another one of those damn beasts out there, I'll stay put.
There might still be something around.
Please, take care of them. I can't stand much more of this. If you do manage to clear a path, please come back.
Okay, so we'll just double check that there's no more, and then we'll release him. Yep, there was still one more around, so if I'd released him then, he would have died. At least I think he would have died, because the way the game treats it is if there are any enemies around, then he dies. Oh, Cray's leveled up, so we might as well do that. Oh, look who we have here. It's that dickhead from the previous part who thought he was all that. Let's see what he has to say.
Braved the perils of the sublevel, yes. Many stories and artifacts in your possession. This is fortuitous for myself and associates. For now, not only do I get rich salvage, but an even richer bounty. Do not be making this difficult. Your death can be quite painless.
And this is where my protocol droid army try and take these guys out. Apparently not, no, they don't care. I'm afraid your death won't be.
So, this is your threat? Is terror what I'm supposed to feel? We know a thing about Jedi and their ways. And now, Jedi, we shall fight.
I'm not quite sure how Gerovic figured out we were Jedi, or were once Jedi, but it doesn't matter because he's going to die. So I'm actually going to be dirty about this and throw grenades at him, because I can't offer much else. So let's do that. Oh, he moved. He moved. That's a bit of a problem. And apparently the protocol droid started panicking there, but it doesn't matter because they all died. So that was an easy battle. Sith power gauntlets, interesting. Ooh, strength +3. Disciple, you might want that. Or maybe Handmaiden might want it more, I don't know. Okay, let's see if there are any more enemies around before we release Joran. Because... oh, there's mines, of course there's mines. Where's Disciple gone? Oh, there he is. Right, I'm just going to put solo mode on because I don't want to disable the mine just yet. It's confirmed, I'm definitely the weakest character in the game right now.
This shall not stop us for long.
Oh god. Okay, this area is going to be interesting for a number of reasons, and you'll see why very shortly. Because this... oh, hello. Did you just randomly spawn in? Because I'm pretty sure you weren't there a second ago. Because this was a very underused area in the original game because it was unfinished. And it literally led to nothing. However, with the restored content mod, it actually adds a bit more material. Controversial material, I will say, and you'll see why, but it sort of messes with the established lore of this game. And it's one of the reasons why some people don't like its addition back into the game. Kreia, now would be a good time to use the Force. Oh, you don't have any, do you? Okay. That's a bit of a problem. Somehow I stunned somebody. You know, the Lagrex, somehow I stunned it. There we go.
My Lagrex! You've killed them! They're my pets!
Oh, your voice. Are you the thief that Sularu is complaining about?
I'm not a thief! People give to the Jedi in exchange for service. They were just giving.
Why did you try to kill me?
You're one of them. Just another stinking salvager and thief. Stealing what belongs to Jedi.
Why do you protect this place?
I belong here. This has been my home forever. Before... just before.
Who are you?
I'm KV, and this is my home. Now there's nothing to stop them from coming back. They're taking things that are Jedi and not theirs. That's wrong.
So we have a choice. We can either be sympathetic or we can kill her. I'm going to be sympathetic even though my character is anti-Jedi. You have a connection to the Force.
I am a Padawan, and one day I will learn enough to be a Jedi.
Why be a Jedi? They're a lost cause.
What do you mean? I've always been trained to be a Jedi.
You can forge your own path, free of rules.
You sound like my other master. He's gone too. He said terrible things.
How did a Padawan wind up here?
I was studying here when Darth Malak and the Sith came. I was outside the Enclave when my master left me at the Mandalorian estate. Shen protected me. But the Sith came asking questions. All the Mandalorians died. But I hid. Even when the estate was burning, I hid. So I hide. I'm hiding until my master returns.
I think the Metelles and the Scoundrels both died during during Darth Malak's attack. Which is a shame because I went to all that effort of getting them together and making sure that they could stay together because they were the Romeo and Juliet of the Star Wars universe. These are difficult times. I was a Jedi once as well.
You were? I had no idea. You aren't anymore? Are there any Jedi left?
There are Jedi around. They're just in hiding.
They are like me. I thought I was alone. Are there any masters?
There is no one left to teach. Anywhere.
But what should I do? I just don't know what I should do.
You can forge your own path. I've already told you this.
There was just no one else to talk to. It's been so hard. But just knowing I'm not alone, there are others like me. It may be enough.
About stealing.
I know that was wrong. I'll stop. I was just trying to get enough credits to eat. But I'll think of something else. Something that doesn't hurt anyone.
I could use any artifacts you found.
I found some things. I don't know how to use them. Here, you can have them. I had a holocron, but it said terrible things. I threw it far away.
It would be so funny if that holocron was the fake holocron that Raylon dude was trying to sell us earlier. What did it say?
It told me the Jedi were no more, that I needed to survive and do anything to protect my home.
Listen to your master's lessons, not the holocron.
The holocron was more forceful the longer I learned. It frightened me.
Where is the holocron now?
I threw it into the ruins. I went back to find it, but the salvager stole it. It was my only teacher.
What are you going to do now?
I don't know. I'll try to find a master to teach me. There have to be some left. I'm not going to use the Force until I find one. So much has gone wrong. Should I feel bad that I feel better? But I still need to find a master. The lessons I learned, I think I need to unlearn them.
May the Force be with you.
And also with you. Thank you.
Okay, so we got a few lightsaber parts there, which I think, yeah, it's updated the crafting a lightsaber quest. Which again, I'm not going to use a lightsaber on my character because I'm going to be a gunslinger, albeit a very bad one at the moment. But we've got another lightsaber part there, and we've also got the thief quest resolved. Because originally, Kavi was not a part of the game, and she was cut content. And then the restored content mod restored her, and then loads of people disagreed with the idea of her being a part of the game because it contradicts the idea of the Jedi being gone and missing and whatever else. I don't particularly care too much. I'm not that bothered by it. But it's a nice little addition either way. Okay, so there's 45 credits in here. I suppose she was saving that for later on. Just seeing if there's anything else before I go and rescue Joran. Because I'm not sure if the Lagrex in this area can kill him. I'm not actually sure. I've not tried it. I assume they can. I'll be coming back in here off screen to recover mines and stuff anyway. But I don't trust the party AI, so I'm going to do it in solo mode.
What is it?
Okay, there we go. But yeah, that's all this area clear, pretty much, which is nice. So let's go and rescue Joran. Because we can get some light side points, hopefully.
Is that you? I thought I heard something. Is it safe yet?
I love how we can not reply and just make him feel really awkward, but yep, they're all dead.
You must be fierce with a blaster then. Give me a moment, I sort of jammed the door a bit. Just don't leave.
I'm not that good with a blaster yet.
Thanks for saving me. I thought those Lagrex had me for sure.
Before you go, what were you doing down here?
It's all Tapelay's fault. She said the entryway to the sublevel was safe enough. This area's hardly been explored. We barely got in here. And then everybody started going left and right, grabbing anything they could. It was every man for himself, and nobody was watching for Lagrex. Then before you know it, we were under attack by those beasts. So salvagers were running every which way, and they left me to die.
Why were you down here if it's so dangerous?
All the easy pickings have been picked. Now everything that's worth more than a glass of Juma juice is long gone. So this level is about the only place that's left. And as you might have noticed, it's very dangerous down here. Almost nobody's managed to get anything from down here. Not that it matters.
Almost nobody? Who's the almost?
There was a group that managed to get in and got one of the biggest hauls ever. Tapele said we could do that too, but they were a damn sight more organized than we were. And they've caused more problems dead than they ever did alive.
How did they die?
They were the first to really get anything from this damn level. They were so confident they went right back in. A bunch of us salvagers waited by the entrance. Only 2 of the 4 came back, and 1 died right away from his wounds. The other man was going to be rich, but then he picked a fight with Garevik. It wasn't much of a fight, and there was no one left. And that's the whole problem.
And that's fleshing out the whole Garevik picked a fight with salvagers and basically took everything. How can dead people cause problems?
Well, since every last one of them is dead, their find is sitting in the militia's headquarters. That's one of the biggest claims ever, and they won't give it to nobody. So people keep saying that they were owed by the dead salvagers, or that they're related. But Zeron isn't an idiot. The only thing he's gonna believe is a will. And after some try to pass less than authentic ones off on him, now he'll only take a will and their personal effects.
Durala had me looking for their bodies, to lay them to rest.
She was playing you for a fool. No doubt she'd like to find those bodies. That, plus a conveniently worded will, and she'd make a pile of credits.
Well, not surprised really. Her deceit won't gain her anything.
Probably not since you know the truth. Unless you're willing to make a fake will, though, the truth won't help. You look like the type of moron that'll just turn it into Zeron. That may be the right thing to do, but it don't make it the smart thing.
I want to talk about something else.
Certainly. Just don't take too long. I don't know how long before those beasts come back.
Oh, they're all dead, don't worry about it. Leave quickly before more of those beasts come.
You don't have to tell me that twice. If you want to talk to me, I'll be by the salvagers' camp. I'm leaving before the Lagrix come back.
And we gain light side points for that. Now I think's the time to actually demonstrate how the PartySwap mod works once we get out of here. So I'm going to do that now, because for those of you who have never seen it, it's a fantastic mod. And I haven't tested it much aside from making sure that it works and that it's stable, and for the most part it seems to be. But essentially what it allows you to do is, at the moment it doesn't look like we can have both Disciple and the Handmaiden, but what it does let you do, once you use the item, and this is the only way you can do it because of the way the game is scripted, but you use the PartySwap icon, or the PartySwap item here, close, and then you get a little dialogue thing here. So Handmaiden is not in the current party, and you can choose who you want to replace. So let's replace Kreia. And there we go, we've now got both the Handmaiden and Disciple, something that would have been impossible in the vanilla game. But thanks to the PartySwap mod, I now have the ability to have both the Handmaiden and Disciple in the party, and all of the cutscenes that are allocated to both Handmaiden and Disciple in the Ebon Hawk will also play out as normal. The modder has done a fantastic job allowing players to actually have both characters in a single playthrough. It's fantastic. Props to the person who developed this mod, because I'm sure it took a very long time to make sure it worked, but thank you to that person. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now because we've been here for quite a while, and I want to leave it there for now so you can focus on trying to find Master Vrook. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.